Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. So let's get ready to get the comedians in here and let's get the show on the road. First up is Howie Bell. Howie, how you doing, sir?
What's up, my brother? How you doing, Frank?
I'm doing all right. Next up is my man, another comedian known as Maurice Smith. How you doing, Mo? Does that mean yet you're doing okay? Next up is Jason Hayes. Jay, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. But I tell you what, not nearly as good as Mo.
Yeah, I believe me. I already know. Might as well make it to the show. Get ready to get into the business. Before we jump into it, though, because the NBA playoffs is going through and everything else, man. I want to ask all you guys what your thoughts are. Obviously, the Celtics played the Knicks last night. Let's do this first. NBA playoffs in review. Let me put up Howie. Howie, talk to me about your thoughts, man.
You know what, man? I feel bad for Boston today. And not just because of the loss, because of the double loss, with Tatum. And that's just, and the way he went down, I think they made, people are assuming that's Achilles. We're not sure yet.
No, we're sure.
I'm not sure yet.
It got announced. It just got announced.
It did just get announced.
He had Achilles surgery. He just had surgery in New York. It just got announced.
He did. Okay, so it got announced. Okay. Wow. So I don't know how long that puts you out, like a year?
Not now.
Something like that. Not now.
Okay. They're saying 10 to 12 months. So we'll see.
10 to 12 months. Well, that's a year. So I mean, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel bad for the fan base. I feel bad for the team. And you never want to see injuries like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the middle of a heated, battle. I mean, who knows? The series isn't over. You know what I'm saying? Boston could still come back. You know what I mean? So it's just the thing about it is you just never want to see that. So that's my thoughts on that particular series, and I just feel bad for him.
Yeah, I gotta. Let me just say this: that they announced that he could be back 10 to 12 months, but some people speculating Jason Tatum could be back in 8 months. I don't care what it is, as long as he comes back, he don't rush it. You know what I mean? Just don't rush it, bro, because you got the rest of your career. You know what I mean? This
absolutely.
Yeah, you got your rest of your career. Mo, I know New York Knicks fan, you got to be feeling good, or do you feel it's over? It's a wrap. Talk to me, Mo. How you feeling?
Well, yeah, it's a wrap. Y'all done. Stick a fork in you. You're lucky if you make it out of Boston tomorrow. I can't wait to go to work tomorrow. Woo! It's done. It's a wrap. We was gonna win. You was gonna win that game anyway yesterday. Whether he went there, and you know what? Let me start with this. I don't want to see nobody get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what team, what player, if I like that player, if I don't like that player, you don't want to see nobody go down. Yeah. You don't want to see, his family depends on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. You don't want nobody to get hurt, man, and it possibly end their career, because anything can happen. He might not come back. I'm not saying that, but medicine is better today, but still, some people don't come back. You don't want to see that happen to nobody. And I don't want to hear, if we had Tatum, y'all wouldn't have did this. I wanted him to be on the court, because to be the best, you got to beat the best. That's what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with it. We're not scared of y'all. I think Bernie Mac said it famous. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. But
your ball sure hairy. Hey, bro. They sure.
But I just want to say, the series is a good series. And I think what a lot of people in Boston took for granted is that even though your team was in the lead and somebody didn't want in shooting slumps, so were the Knicks. The Knicks were in a shooting slump 3 games in a row. And they finally broke out last night and became the Knicks that they were supposed to be. If you look at the stats, I mean, we only led for like 12 minutes in the first 2 games. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what happened to Tatum, though, can shape the whole NBA in a different way. Because, a lot can happen because of what happened to Tatum.
Yeah, it really can. Before I say my comment, I'm going to throw it to you, Jason. Tell me what your thoughts are.
I mean, you got to be clear. The Knicks beat the Celtics 3 times with Tatum.
Yeah.
I mean, he went down late in the 4th quarter last night. So I don't know how Boston can feel good about that. Like going into the next game or God forbid a game after that, because Tatum was balling last night, and they were still down when he went down. So I don't know how Boston recoups from this. I didn't see that coming. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, I thought the Knicks, were gonna probably get like maybe 2 wins in the series. Make it respectable. But what's happening right now, I absolutely didn't see that coming. But prayers up, to JT, bro.
I'll say that too. I'm interested. I can't wait till this thing moves on. I mean, I can't wait till the next game because I'm interested to see how the Celtics, regroup. Because one thing I will say, and I say it on all my Boston shows, everything I would say, the Celtics play a lot better a lot of times with Jason Tatum not on the floor. You know what I mean? So we'll see how they respond, especially through the year. We'll see how they respond now that he's gone the whole game. That game in the Orlando series, game 2, they ended up beating without JT when he was in. You saw it, they played they're a different style, a different team. It'd be interesting to see. But it hurts my heart for my Celtics to lose this series. If they lose, I'm gonna say that publicly. It hurts my heart because everybody knows the Celtics was better than the Knicks. I don't care what nobody.
Nope.
Everybody knows it.
We don't know that.
We don't know. No,
we don't know that.
No, no.
You don't know. I know.
No,
the result don't say that.
You ain't got to know. You ain't got to know. You ain't got to know.
I think one of the most famous coaches in the world said this: "You are what your record says you are."
Exactly. And my record was better.
And when the season ended, everybody started off 0-0 in the playoffs. That's the first thing y'all say. It's 0-0 now.
And we beat you all 4 times in the season straight.
Don't matter. Don't matter.
The record says you are. Record says what you are. But also, let me just say this: the record is what you say you are, and the series ain't over yet. So
no,
but you lost 3 times this series, bro.
Yeah, and it ain't
you got
over.
3 L's this series.
And the Yankees said the same thing, bro. The Yankees said the same thing. I'm
just
saying.
Yeah, but you know what? The whole thing about it, though, is no one thought the Yankees weren't supposed to win. We felt the Yankees were going to win. Everybody in the world thought the Knicks were not going to win. The only people who didn't think the Knicks were going to win was sitting in the room with the Knicks game 1. And a few of us New Yorkers. Other than that, the whole world wrote New York off in 4 to 5 games.
You're saying the
exact And Big Papi didn't get hurt. Big Papi didn't get hurt in a Yankee series, bro.
You're saying the same thing that we said because everybody, even Red Sox fans, said the same thing when the Yankees and Red Sox play. Same. It's the same thing all over. We'll see. Again, it ain't over. When it's over, then I have to eat that pie, right, Howie? You got to eat it up.
Hey,
all right, Howie.
It's never over till it's over. But it don't look good for Boston. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I see them coming out with a lot of pride. You know what I'm saying? Playing, the next game. You know what I'm saying? And they can play different. People rise up and teams get different energy when people go out. That happens. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. It's not over. It's never over till it's over. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at it like that. But it don't look good. It's not good. Tatum was playing his ass off too. He was balling.
He was. And don't let us win the next one. Don't let us win in Boston.
You know what's so crazy? You know what I blame this on though? Y'all coach, man.
Me too.
Dog, y'all are play killing y'all, bro.
Dog, what's happening is you guys are blowing leads. Like huge double-digit leads in every game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dog, that comes down to coaching.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That is what that is, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way in hell that they should have came back the first 2 games.
3 times.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, last night they was on fire, and they came back in that game. But they was on fire because the energy in the room. They had the Garden. You know what I'm saying? First game at the Garden. I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, coach, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he dropped the ball in this series. I don't know what the hell he was thinking about or what he was doing. But his style of play, the way he executing, it's off. And if he can change it, they got a chance. But I don't even know if he's going to change. What is he going to do?
It's horrible. It's horrible. If Ime Udoka was coaching, we wouldn't be in this situation. You know what I mean? Like he's much better coach. But anyway, let's jump into the show, man. Let's get ready to get this thing started. And then we'll circle back to the playoff. We have time because I really want to ask you all, at the end of the show, what y'all think about Cleveland, Indiana, because that game is tonight too. So I want to focus on that too, man. And that don't look good for Cleveland.
Done too.
Yeah, it don't look like for the game.
Yeah, that don't look good.
All right, so Howie, you up first, bro. So because we had the questions, everything else, you already know what we rolling at. So give me the top 5 centers in the NBA that you hated. You know, it ain't gotta be statistically. Give me the top 5 centers that you hated, and give me your reasons.
Well, it's a few of them, man, on my list. I just hate their style of play, and they're just, and they just their whole style. You know what I mean? I'm gonna start with Rudy Gobert. You know what I'm saying?
His name is wrong.
Yeah, his name was wrong. Then we had the whole thing with the COVID stuff, and they just that microphone. Man, and in his game ain't that sweet. I just think that he's surrounded by better players than what he really is. You know what I'm saying? And just, I don't like this guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not one of my favorite NBA personality players at all. Next, I'm gonna go with Andrew Bynum. Ugh, man, Jesus Christ, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like some people just don't live up to their expectations. You know what I'm saying? They get overhyped. I think he was definitely one of them. You know what I'm saying? And just the game is nasty. You know what I'm saying? Never really developed. Really, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't sweet. You know what I'm saying? Greg Oden. Dude, what's up with this dude, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he was supposed to be so much better than what he was. You know what I'm saying? And, to me, he dropped the ball. You know what I'm saying? They actually drafted him over Durant, too.
They passed on KD.
Yeah, they passed on KD and got that boy, man. That's crazy. Yeah. Next one, I would have to say Joel Embiid. That's a big, sorry, soft-ass dude, man.
Wow.
I mean, he is, man. I mean, he's a whiner. He's a crier. He hasn't really done nothing with the 76 as far as I'm concerned, not living up to his expectations. I just think that he's a big gump. Like, I remember in high school, we used to call dudes like him gumps. It just, you're just not good. You slew-footed. You know what I'm saying? And you complain a lot. You know what I'm saying? My last dude, center, man, that I just, part of the Rainbow Coalition. I just didn't like his whole. He's too sassy for me, and that's Dwight Howard. And I just didn't think that. I think that he could have been much better. I think he's a good athlete. I just think that he has another one of those dudes with a nasty, ugly game, and never really, to me, was never really good as people said he was. And not only that, when you're out there in the streets and I'm not knocking nobody's sexual preference, but you're in the streets dealing with tranny prostitutes and doing, and you putting stickum on basketballs and you know what I'm saying? You touching dudes' butts and groins and, I mean, your karma's not going to be good as a player or as a person. And, I ain't feeling that dude, Dwight Howard. Those are my top 5 most hated centers. I don't like none of those dudes.
Howie, I gotta say this: Dwight Howard is the only one on your list who is still Hall of Fame eligible, bro. Like people talk about he might go to Hall of Fame. So I don't like him that much either, but when he was in Orlando, I loved him. So I was like, this dude's destroying a lot of things. All right, Mo, give me your top 5 centers you hated, however you want to say it.
Yeah, when I got the question, I think I must have read it wrong. You know what I'm saying? It said top 5 centers. I didn't know it was top 5 centers in the NBA, so I kind of mixed it up. I hope I don't let you guys down. I was a little drunk too. I've been drinking. I had a little celebration last night. Number 5, Big Country. Remember Big Country? Oh man, I don't even. He got drafted by the Raptors or something like Vancouver Grizzlies, right? Big Country, one of them dudes that he was just so big, they gave him a contract in the NBA because he was just big. Because he wasn't a ball player, he didn't do nothing. He was just big. Like I said, I thought it was wrong. But Central Booking in New York, I don't like that center either. That's where you go when you get locked up in New York City. Before you see the judge, they take you to Central Booking. I don't like Central Booking. Spent the many nights there. They always give you mustard with the bologna sandwich. They never had packs of mayonnaise. I don't know why they do that.
I wouldn't know none of that. Okay.
The Youth Detention Center in Brownsville, Brooklyn. I just want to take a second. Right, because there is a center. I just want to say every part of Brooklyn has a high school. My part, Brownsville, they took a big empty lot and they decided to put a youth detention center there. And I felt like I just want to take a second and shine a light on that, let you know how they really think of us.
That's worth hating at for sure.
Yep.
Bill Lambier couldn't stand it. Oh my God!
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I think he has a great basketball IQ. He's won championships in the WNBA. Am I right? Also in the NBA, wasn't he a coach? Right. So I'm not going to question his basketball IQ because at any level to win a championship takes a certain amount of knowledge. But other than that all he had was being dirty. That was it. Mm-hmm. That's all he had. But I guess Detroit people be like, well, that's all he needed. And my last one, the number one center that I hated of all time, the welfare center. I hated when I had to go down to the welfare center with my mother and my grandmother. Oh, you had to sit down there all day long. When you had to go down there for face-to-face, the only good thing about going to the welfare center is you got McDonald's. You knew you was going to get McDonald's. Outside of that, you had to sit there at the welfare center all day long. Top 5 centers I hate.
There you go. That's a good list. Jay, give me your top 5 centers you hate.
Hey, Mo, that government cheese was worth waiting for, though, bro. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 for me, be clear, I absolutely hated all things Boston and the Celtics. So I hated Robert Parrish.
Mm-hmm.
I hated his baby afro that he was still wearing when the afro was 10 years past. Nobody wore that junk no more. But he was a good player, right? Number 4 for me, I'm going Ronnie Cycli. It ain't really like a hate thing. It's just that he sucked. Mm-hmm. He went to the Heat. He balled out in college. He went to the Heat, and he was trash juice in the NBA. So it's just a hate of like disappointment with him. You know what I'm saying? Number 3, I'm going Bill Cartwright. For no other reason other he was just a goofy. He had a goofy game. He had a goofy look. He had a goofy free throw release. I hated watching that goofy dude on the court. Number 2, I'm back to Boston. See, I don't remember Portland Bill Walton.
Mm-hmm.
All I remember is the towel waving co-cheerleader with ML Carr on them ugly ass Boston Celtics teams. All time, all ugly team, bro. Trust me on this.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1 for me, this is in the aftermath, was Shaquille O'Neal. When he left Orlando and went to the Lakers, I hated him. And I just stopped really not hating him, to be honest. And if I found me a good voodoo woman back then, Shaq's career never would have been.
That sounded like that was pure hate, boy.
Hatred.
Yeah.
You couldn't find a voodoo woman in Florida? You couldn't go to Miami?
Nope. Louisiana, bro. That's where they live.
Yeah.
All those Creole Haitian people, wasn't one voodoo?
Yeah, he couldn't find them. Let me give y'all my list because my list might make y'all laugh. Remember Robin Lopez? Y'all remember Robin Lopez? He's still running around. Robin Lopez. Didn't like him. Still don't like him. Robin Lopez. Still don't like him. I think he was a waste. I think he could have been a lot better, but he was nowhere near as good as he could have been. Andre Drummond comes in at number 4 for me. Andre Drummond there was a moment there that I was wondering how that dude's in the league. Then I saw it. I was okay. Still not satisfied. Number 3, Moses Malone. I used to hate to see this dude come when he used to come and play for the Sixers against the Celtics. I hated that. Number 2 for me was Patrick Ewing because he was from Cambridge in Boston, and he used to talk all that trash, act like he didn't grow up as a Celtics fan. It used to really crack me up. Like, dude, you're a Celtics fan, and my man Kev would tell you that through and through. Celtics fan through and through, and all that trash you talking. And he was very disappointed when he became one of the Knicks. So, I was like, but my number 1 dude that I hated, I even told y'all after the show yesterday, I kind of let that sneak out, was John Koncak from the Atlanta Hawks, who ruined the entire league with these super ridiculous contracts. John Koncak, and here's the thing that really bothered me. and I'm not racist in any way, but I really believed he was in the NBA because he was white, because he had no skill at all. I don't care what nobody said. I thought I used to say to a couple people, and I said it to Spud Webb a couple of times in his face. I said, if that dude was 6'5", he wouldn't be in the league. And you know what Spud said? You're absolutely right. That's okay. That's all I wanted to need. That's all I needed to know, because that dude just shouldn't have been in the league. But not only was he in the league, he got a huge contract. So yeah, he started all this contract nonsense to where we are now. All right, so that now brings us to this next thing up, Howie. You up. Howie, here we go. The top 5 shooting guards that you love. Not statistically, because we all know stats-wise who's 1 through whatever. We already know that. But who you love to play, to see, shoot.
And I had my list, man, somewhere, but I could go off the top of the head on that. You know what I'm saying? I did have a list of guys, top 5 that I love, man, shooting guard wise. Man, I used to love to watch. I know, you know what I'm saying? That was one of my guys, man. To really watch. I thought he was incredible. He wouldn't miss a shot. You know what I'm saying? He just had Ginobili.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Manu.
Yeah, Manu Ginobili. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was just great, man. One of the greatest, man, out there, man, as far as shooting guards. Yeah, tough dude with it, man. Of course, you already know, man. Everybody don't really like him these days, but I think Chris Paul, man, you know what I'm saying? I really like his game. You know what I'm saying? I got him in another category too, but I really like his game. I think that he's one of the best as well, facilitator and all that. Really good shooting guard, man. You know what I'm saying? Allen Iverson. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, brother. That's without being said. One of the best ever from a kid all the way through his pro career. You know what I'm saying? One of the best ever. Changed the whole fashion dynamic. You know what I'm saying? The NBA, and all that kind of stuff. He was the man. That's that AI, baby. That's AI. That was AI before AI was AI. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and he wasn't manipulating. You know what I'm saying? He was actually in the flesh. So, and then I got to go with, who used to be sweet, man? Tony Parker, bro. Was he a shooting guard, though? He was
a 1.
He's a 1.
Yeah,
he's a 1. But he was incredible, though, man. But I got to go. But my last, of course, my number 1 shooting guard, of course, Zeke, baby, Isaiah Thomas, man. You know what I'm saying? Detroit Piston bad boys, brother. You know what I'm saying? One of the best ever to do it. He wasn't my number 1 player of all time, but definitely not my number 1 shooting guard of all time, which is Steph Curry. But to me, Zeke, you know what I'm saying, on this category right here, got it. One of my favorites.
All right. I think he was a 1, but I'll let you get that one.
He was a 1.
Yeah, yep. I'll let you get that. Mo, give me your top 5 shooting guards that you love.
All right, my top 5 shooting guards that I love. Number 5, Jesus Shuttlesworth. That was my guy, Jesus Shuttlesworth. Prettiest shot ever. I'm not talking about Ray Allen. I'm talking about Jesus Shuttlesworth from He Got Game. That's my dude. Out of Brooklyn, baby. Jesus Shuttlesworth. Number 4, Latrell Sprewell. Latrell, man, that's my dude. Anybody that can choke a coach and go to New York, that's somebody you need to hang out. That's somebody you need to hang out with. Number 3, Allen Houston. Allen Houston had the prettiest form in the league, man. Oh, man. I just wish he would have drove the lane more. But, man, when he left Detroit and came to New York, he was on point. Shep. Remember Shep? Shep it from above the rim? When he came back, Tupac's brother, Leon, Shep. When he played that tournament in the Rucker, that form he had, I didn't know Shep had a game like that. Shep above the rim. For those of you youngins out there don't know, go get the DVD from your uncle. And number 1, and this is somebody who I always wondered what would have happened if they didn't go into acting, Michael Warren. If you don't know who Michael Warren is the shooting guard from the UCLA championship teams that never lost when they were in UCLA with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bill Walton and all them. He was the shooting guard on that team. He went on to have a great acting career. Hill Street Blues, the show with LL Cool J. He's had a great acting career and could have been an NBA Hall of Famer. Always wondered what he would have been if he would have went to the NBA because he had a pretty game.
Okay, that's a good list. Give me your list, Jay. What's your list look like?
And first, I want to acknowledge that Howie did not say Joe Dumars. I'm stunned.
Shock. Yes, yeah.
Stunned. Number 5 for me, I'm gonna go Reggie Miller. In terms of a 2 guard. I mean, Reggie was a killer, stone cold competitor, funny, trash talker. You know, he never faded from the shy away from the moment. Number 4 for me, I gotta go Ray Allen. Ray Allen, not Jesus Shuttlesworth. I'm talking about the dude that won 2 championships in 2 different cities, right? You know, people remember Ray as a jump shooter, man, but when Ray first came to the league, them first years, man, Ray had all of it. Off the bounce, boink on you, you know what I'm saying? And step back and knock down threes. All-time great 2 guard. Number 3 for me is Kobe Bryant. And I put him number 3 only because I think the other 2 are better winners than him. You know what I'm saying? You know, better teammates, you know, to their people than he was, right? So number 2, I'm going the man from Wade County down there in South Florida, Dwayne Wade, the all-time blocks leader amongst guards in NBA history. Flash is underrated. He don't get the shine he should be getting for as good as he really was. And number 1 all time, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Yeah, okay.
You got to go there.
That's funny because we're gonna see something. We're gonna see something real fast. Let's see something real fast. In my list, right? My top 5 shooting guards that I love, I had a tie for 5 between Joe Dumars and Kobe Bean Bryant. That's who I had at 5. Okay, because it was tough for me, and especially in the height of their career when Kobe was the shooting guard and not trying to play point forward and not trying to play point. You know, I got scrambled at that point. Number 4 for me, Ray Allen. Ray Allen was, you know, when he was on point, he was the man. Number 3 for me, Klay Thompson. When Klay Thompson was the shooting guard and he was Golden State Warriors, man, I absolutely loved used to watching them play, man. I hated the Splash Brothers, but I did loved them enough to respect their game. And, you know, obviously that's what it is. Number 2 for me, Reggie Miller, man. Reggie Miller was a killer. But number 1 for me is the same. Is number 1 for you, Jay. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Like
how can you not?
Yeah, that dude's a beast. It was a beast.
You said the question was that you loved.
Yeah,
we didn't love Michael Jordan in Detroit.
We didn't.
I love the game, Howard. You know what I'm saying? I love the game too much to be that disrespectful.
But you say, how could you not? I'm like, I can tell you how.
I'm from Detroit. That's how.
From the deep, man.
Somehow, I'm asking you.
I tell you right now,
I'm asking you a question. You want to know how? I'm telling you how.
Yeah. Who I love?
All right, so Howie,
I didn't love him.
So Howie, since we did the players that we love, let's now do the players that you hated to see face your team. Like, who's the top 5 players that you hated to see face your team when your team was in town or away? Who you hated? Give me your top 5.
Well, you already know my team is the Detroit Lions. So, I could have did multiple teams, but you know, I really hated anybody from the Green Bay Packers because of the history. But these 2 guys in particular, the first 2, I got to start off with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. They were a thorn in the Lions' backside for back-to-back stretches. Can you imagine playing against your squad, playing against 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks back-to-back for like over a span of like 20 years or something like that? That's what we've been dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with the Packers. You know what I'm saying? So those are 2 of the most hated guys I saw coming to play against the Lions. Well, my first 2. You know what I'm saying? And really in no order, but those were my first 2. This guy ain't a player, but he's a coach. And I hated to see him coming because we never could beat them. And that's Pete Carroll with the Seattle Seahawks. Every time the Detroit Lions played them, we took an L. Every single time. I'm talking about through different squads, different generations of teams that he coached. We always lost. I think we might have beat them maybe once or twice out of like, I don't know, about 17 matchups or something like that. Crazy record against them. They always beat us. Randy Moss is a person that we hated to see, and he played with the Vikings for quite some time. Of course, everybody knows that before he went to the Patriots. And listen, brother, he torched us, killed us. Hated to see him. expected to see him because we would be up in the game. Boom, we lost Randy Moss. You know what I'm saying? And one of the number one players I hate to see coming right now in modern day age, when he plays the Lions, we get torched. We don't do very well against these type of players, and that's running quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is a player that I absolutely, with all of my heart, when we get ready to play the Baltimore Ravens, I almost, like you said, you want to put voodoo on somebody? Man, listen to me. I can't stand him when he playing us. And I love him as a player, but he kills us every time. I'm talking about he going to get the most yards he got that season on the ground. He going to pass for something incredible. He's just incredible when he's the Detroit Lions, and those are my top people and players and coaches that I hated going against my team.
I understand how you hope he be getting cramps or something like
anything, bro.
Okay, so Mo, cheer up, Mo. Give me your top 5 players that you hated to see your team face. Any of your teams.
All right. Number 5 for me is Deshaun Jackson. This dude eats up the Giants like Skittles. He's always having some kind of miraculous turnaround. I remember one time, because my daughter's a big sports fan, she loved the Giants. She don't know the history of Deshaun Jackson, and he was on another team. And he was, I think he was with Carolina or
Washington.
It was Washington. Yeah, it was Washington. And she was like, "Who's that dude?" I'm like, "That's Deshaun Jackson." She's like, "Why we don't have?" I'm like, "He been kicking the Giants' ass forever." he whoops up on the Giants. Mark Jackson. When Mark Jackson was a player in the NBA, after the Knicks traded him, if you notice, Mark Jackson ain't been to a playoff game yet when the Knicks are playing. You've seen everybody. Stephon Marbury, Carmelo, Bernard King, Allen Houston. You have not seen Mark Jackson. He's still mad with the New York Knicks, and he tore us up every chance he got.
I would be telling me to trade that man to the Clippers, bro.
Yeah.
And listen, I ain't had nothing to do with that. I'm listen, I was mad too. I was mad they traded him too. And the Clippers of all that purgatory, come on, man, that's hell right there. That's NBA hell. Ooh, back then, the Clippers,
Donald Sterling Clippers.
Yeah, the Sterling Clippers. Shaquille O'Neal, he just abused us, did whatever he wanted to do. He took Patrick Ewing, and like Patrick Ewing to me was Glass Joe for Shaquille O'Neal. Remember Glass Joe in that boxing? You had to beat
Punch out.
Yeah, you had to beat Glass Joe first. Everybody beat Glass Joe. That's what Patrick Ewing was. That's what Shaquille O'Neal was for Patrick Ewing. That's what you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. He was Patrick Ewing was Glass Joe. Trae Young. Trae Young comes to the Knicks and he just, oh man. We can't just, oh man. Anybody that got a haircut that look like Edith Bunker on
wow,
shouldn't be allowed to play ball like that. I'll say, you know what his hair look like? You remember when your kids used to have the lollipop that got stuck in the car and you pick it up after cleaning and got all their hair and lit?
No! Not the car fuzz.
That is a good description.
That's great.
It really is.
It's really great description.
The only person here, I don't mean to cut you off, but the only person here who was worse is my man from Boston. He cut it to a ball head now. It's the White.
Derek White, yeah.
Derek White. He was, man, when he had hair, he looked like a witch doll. You ain't see that dude?
Yeah,
he looked almost as bad as from Atlanta.
And the last one, Bernard King. Not because I didn't like Bernard King, but the Knicks traded him. He went to Washington and became an all-star all over again after a serious injury, back when injuries were career-ending. You know what I'm saying? Back then, they didn't have all the medical science. Y'all know that. And he came back, and he sure enough torched the Knicks every single time he could. My 5.
He sure did. Okay, Jay, give me your 5.
Well, I kept mine, strictly to the NBA and basketball. So, number 5 for me, obviously, Michael Jordan. Nobody wanted to see that dude come to town ever, because he was going to do what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Larry Bird. Hated Bird. But you don't want to see that dude coming into your building with winning on the line, because he's most likely going to win. Number 3, I'm going Dennis Rodman after he left the Pistons, because I was messing with him with the Pistons, but I ain't never really cared for San Antonio, and I for sure didn't like the Bulls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when he come, bro, he ain't gonna score a lot, but he gonna D up.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna get 75,000 rebounds in the game.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna grab some booties and squish some nuts,
Mm-hmm.
and then he gonna go in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Most likely with the dub. Hate to see that dude come around. Number 2, it's kind of like a duo, but I'm gonna go number 2, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Mm-hmm.
He had them goofy ass goggles, throwing that lame looking sky hook, and it is unguardable. He just giving people 35, and he ain't even hardly breaking a sweat. You know what I'm saying? And then number 1, his Batman, Magic Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimate competitor. You never want to see Magic coming in your building with winning on the line, bro, because he's gonna do whatever it takes to get that dub.
He sure is. He sure is. I like y'all's list. Let me throw up mine real fast so you can't say I didn't have a list. I got my list real fast. Top 5 players that you hated to see your team face. Number 5 for me was Jimmy Butler on the Miami Heat. Not Chicago Bulls Jimmy Butler, but the Miami Heat Jimmy Butler. I don't know how he got so much better when he went from obviously the Chicago Bulls to the Miami Heat, but Jimmy Butler found a way. So hated to see him, face him. Number 4 for me was the Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron James. Like I really did not like, especially a couple of years ago in Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I mean? Like, matter of fact, it was Jason Tatum's rookie year. I didn't want to see him, And of course, same thing when LeBron was facing the 2007, 2008, 2009 Celtics. Didn't like him at all. Number 3 for me is the New York Yankees, Derek Jeter. I don't care how it happened. Whenever the game was on the line, that dude found a way to make a great stop, get a great hit a great home run, did something to always win the game when he was playing against my Red Sox. Hated that dude. Like, I now hate literally started to emanate from me when I used to be around there. And I bumped into him at the Prudential, boy. And my sister was like, hey, let's go meet Derek Jeter. I was like, and he walked up to me. We walk like this. My sister said, hey, how you doing? He stuck his hand out to me. I just looked right at him. I couldn't even say
Oh, damn.
I wish I could apologize to him, but I just looked at him. I couldn't even do it. I had so much hate. And back then, I really had hate for that dude. Terrible. Frank, terrible. Number 2 for me was Julius Erving. Whenever the Sixers came to town, they used to really give us a hard time. I hated that dude. I love him as a player, individual player when he's playing anybody else but the Celtics. But number 1 for me, man, it's got to be Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning used to put it on us, man. Like, he just – the Patriots had problems with Peyton Manning all the time. And whatever we want, Mo can tell you because he lived there. Whenever the Patriots beat the Indianapolis Colts, the Peyton Manning Colts, we used to celebrate like we won the Super Bowl because we couldn't believe we beat him, because that dude was a monster. So that was, and we could tell you that all day. We weren't even worried about Eli. Eli's the one who beat us more. You know what I mean?
Right.
He beat you when it counted.
He beat us, but they all counted. But he beat us when it counted the most. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and both times I wasn't worried about Eli at all. Neither time, and lost both of those games. All right, so now this is kind of fun. I got to go with this with Howie. We've been talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo for a couple of days now. So everybody's talking about the teams that he's gonna go to. So now the question is, give me your top 5 teams that you don't want to see Giannis attempt to go to, and tell me why. Like, why don't you want to see Giannis go to those teams?
Well, I gotta say this, man. I wouldn't want to see him wind up in a place where it'd be a sad situation. I want to see him, win, man. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I don't want to see him go to the Bulls. I don't want to see. I think that'd be, what I'm saying, just a stupid situation for him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the Bulls are, really. Right. I think that's in rebuild mode kind of right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. The Pelicans. I don't want to see him go to the Pelicans. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the team is awkward. The mascot is terrible. I just, Giannis, man, stay out of New Orleans, man. Only thing good down there is the food, which is absolutely incredible. And, but amongst other things. But no, the basketball team, no. The Wizards, come on, man. Why would we go to first of all, the Washington, D.C. area is troubled by airline traffic control right now. You don't want to go anywhere in D.C.
Well, you can't even land safely.
Yeah, you're Reagan International, any of that, you know what I'm saying? And the Wizards, that's not where you should go. I don't think he should go to the Pacers. They too damn good already. That would be unfair for him to go to the Pacers right now. Woo, they on fire. And my last team that I think that he should not go to would be the Atlanta Hawks, and not because of anything dealing with the team chemistry, any of that, but the city of Atlanta is a lot to deal with. I don't think Giannis can handle that. It's too much. It's too much chicken wings and stripping going on. There's a lot of hot stuff going on in Atlanta. I don't think that's the place for him to be. Too many distractions.
Marriage would be over.
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 Okay, so Mo, give me the top 5 teams you don't want to see Giannis go to. Everybody talk about where he's gonna go to. Give the top 5 teams you don't want to see him go to.
I don't want to see him number 5 going to the Knicks, because that means the Knicks would have to gut the whole team out just to get him. We would have to get rid of everybody that helped us get to where we at just to get him. I'm good with that. He ain't got to come to New York. Number 4, I definitely don't want to see him going to the Celtics, because now that Tatum's down, they don't tell him what they might try to do. I don't want him in my division. I don't want him to go to the Celtics. Him and Porzingis together, I think, would be a nightmare, for real. The Lakers. I don't want him to go to the Lakers just because I don't like the Lakers. That's it. I just don't like the Lakers. I don't want them there. I feel like the Lakers is more of a show than a team. You know what I'm saying? To me, the Lakers is like the new Lakers is like the new MTV. Remember MTV played real music videos and they stopped? The Lakers played real basketball and they were a real team and then they stopped. No. Houston. Like how he said about the Pacers, because the Pacers is my next one. Houston and the Pacers. He go on any one of them teams, they automatically become a contender. Automatically. Don't want to see that. Him in Houston with Ime Udoka pulling out stuff from him that he didn't know he had on the defensive and the offensive end. And Rick Carlisle down in Indianapolis, no.
Well, here's the crazy part about Houston, bro. Here's the crazy part about Houston. If he went to Houston, Houston ain't got to give up nothing. All they do is give up draft picks. They ain't got to gut their team at all. They got so many draft picks. Houston and OKC, they ain't got to do that. So, Jay, talk to me about where you think 5 teams that you don't want to see Giannis to go to.
I mean, this really should be my number 1, but I'll start with number 5, Boston. I don't want Boston to have nothing good ever. You hear me?
Damn.
So, since Giannis would be great, I don't want him ever to set foot in Beantown. Not even for a bowl of chowder.
Damn.
Number 4 for me, the Clippers. Only because I think there's a Donald Sterling curse over that franchise, and they would just waste his career. They'd be great during the regular season. Kawhi figure out a way to hurt something that we ain't never heard of. And then everybody else, ain't gonna be nothing. You know what I'm saying? So no Clippers. Number 3, Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh.
They will waste his career as sure as a cheesesteak got cheese on it, bro. They will waste this, bro. They will squander his career. So he need not go anywhere near that organization. Number 2, Charlotte Hornets. If Michael Jordan has proven anything, it is that he don't know jack shit about putting a team together. Okay? This we know for sure. So he should never go anywhere near anything ran by Michael Jordan. In the number 1 spot, He ain't got no business out there in the high desert with the Mormons out there in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
By every play, I mean, they've never done anything as a franchise in terms of winning overall. It's not a winning culture. And then on top of that, every NBA player says it's the most racist place to play in the entire NBA. They don't deserve it. Number one spot, keep him out of Utah.
I like your list. I like your list. Now, let me throw my Pelican brief out there before I give you my list. Since Jason Tatum got hurt and the way Brad Stevens moves, I would not be surprised if Giannis landed on the Celtics to play opposite Jaylen Brown next year. I wouldn't be surprised. I could see the Celtics giving up maybe a not a Drew Holiday going back there. Drew Holiday.
They got to give up White. They got to get White.
Derek White got to go.
They got to get White.
I can see them doing that. I can see them doing Derek White and Kristaps Porzingis to Milwaukee for Giannis. I can see that.
That's what it would take.
Yeah, and I can see them saying, "Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that." Because honestly, and before I just give you my list, this is what's crazy about it. Derek White and Drew Holiday are expendable because J.D. Davison and that other kid they got are really good, and they're sitting on the bench, and the Celtics aren't playing them. They're really, really, really good, and they wouldn't miss a beat on the guards' perspective right now if either one of those dudes left. So anyway, let me.
But as I said earlier, may God curse that union. May it never happen.
Honestly, I don't want him either because then when Tatum comes back, now you got Tatum and Brown and Giannis. I don't want that. I don't want Giannis in the Celtics uniform, but I think it might happen because Brad Stevens when Brad Stevens was sitting there at the hospital today, I think that's exactly what he was thinking of because Giannis wants to go and Joker wants to leave, and Brad Stevens he's not gonna destroy this team. All right, so let me give you my top here. My top 5 teams I don't want to see Giannis to go to at all. Number 5 for me is Golden State Warriors. I don't want to see him playing for the Golden State Warriors. I don't think his style of play would fit there at all. So that's 5 for me. Number 4 for me is the Dallas Mavericks because I think they have a ridiculous amount of riches right now. And if you put Giannis there and you got Kyrie and you got KD and you got Cooper Flagg, tell me that's not an NBA championship waiting to happen. I think that would happen immediately. And with the other players they already got right there, I think that happened immediately. So I don't want to see that. Number 3 for me is Washington Wizards because to me, that's going from where you're at right now to like a black hole. Like, why would you want to go play for Washington? Like, that makes no sense. Number 2 for me, Miami Heat. I don't want to see him go to Miami Heat because, I'm a Celtics fan. And if he goes to Miami Heat, they're going to get drastically better. Depending on who they got to give up. But Miami Heat, nobody's talking about them, but Pat Riley's going to do some magic this season. He's going to make some stuff happen, and that's just how Pat Riley moves. And it's very possible to me he lands on the Miami Heat. But number 1 for me is I don't want to see him play with the Lakers because then he'd be playing with Luka, and that would be a nightmare for years to come. I don't want to see that at all. But I don't know. But the Lakers pull rabbits out of a hat. It's very possible that happens too. So I don't want to see him play for the Lakers. Can you imagine Luka playing with Giannis?
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be ugly. I don't want to see that. Okay, so let's move on. This is the fun part, and I think we got enough time. Yeah, we got enough time. This is the part I was like, I can't wait to talk about this with you guys. Here it is, Howie. The top 5 games that you would like to see Michael Jordan do play-by-play for us. Michael Jordan is doing play-by-play, or he's doing color. What are the games that you'd like to see him play?
Well, you know what, man? Michael, this is the middle name, Jeffrey, ain't it?
Yeah.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan. He would only commentate his own wins. I really think so. I really think that he would get a kick out of commentating all of his sweet games. You know what I'm saying? Bulls versus Jazz, 1998 NBA Finals, Game 6. You know, talk about how dope he was with the last shot over Byron Russell. You know what I'm saying? He'd be all into it, man. You see how I did that? Do you see how I did that? Now this is how you play. You know what I'm saying? All these other cats. Bulls versus Pistons, 1991 Eastern Conference. Game 4 when they swept it. I know he would. See, this is how you beat a team that didn't like you. You know what I'm saying? I can see Jordan really getting down and being very arrogant in his play-by-play. He saw so many good games, man. But the Bulls versus the Knicks. Oh boy, 1993 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5. Destroyed y'all. 54 points in the Garden. Woo, Jesus! I can see him talking about it now. The Garden is my home with a cigar in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? On play-by-play. You know, Bulls versus Lakers, 1991 NBA Finals, Game 5. Woo-wee. Come on, man. This is first championship clincher, baby. I can talk about. I got many more to come after this, y'all. Watch what's about to happen. He come in doing play-by-play, watching himself play is the most funniest thing in the world. I just thought about, when I was looking at and doing the research on this. And I tell you, the last one I would say is that Bulls versus the Utah Jazz. You say the most racist place. 1997 NBA Finals Game 5, the flu game, baby. You see how sick I was? Only people that's sick can do sick stuff like this.
Yeah. I can see him doing it. I can see him doing that. Now, but the question really was, Howie, the question really was, is upcoming season, because Michael Jordan's going to be for NBC commentator. So I'll let you slide with that category. Right. That was a good one. I didn't even think of it like that. So that's very because he would be very egotistical in all those games he called.
Absolutely. Calling himself, watching himself play.
Yeah, he definitely would be. Bo, give me your top 5 games in this upcoming season that you would love to see Michael Jordan do play-by-play for, if he was to do play-by-play.
Well, you know what? I didn't know with upcoming season. I was drinking last night. I had a couple shots of tequila. You know what I'm saying?
You keep saying it. You let everybody know. We know you was drunk. We know. And we know why. But so give me your top 5.
About number 5 for me, I would like to see him do a Yankees versus Dodgers World Series game because of his love of baseball. I would love to see him do that. Doing the play-by-play for that. Yeah, I think that would be dope.
Yeah.
If I say Yankees versus Dodgers, I didn't put Red Sox or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't tell him how to hit. I can tell you that.
Hey, listen. The former, listen, true story. Mike couldn't hit a breaking ball. What's the coach the manager that won the World Series with the Red Sox? He was the manager for the Birmingham Barons. I think Michael was on. He said by the end of the year, the end of the year, Michael was hitting over 200. He was in like 230, something like that, on breaking balls alone.
Mm-hmm.
He had started learning how to hit breaking balls.
That's not good though.
PGA golf tournament. I'd like to see him do a PGA golf tournament. We all know he's a golf junkie. He loves playing golf. So I'd like to see him sitting back talking trash about what he would do if he was on the court, or he would shoot his boy Tiger Woods. They ain't nothing since Tiger. He probably talking about Tiger all the time. The NBA All-Star Game. I'd like to see him do play-by-play so he can rip them to shreds on how the All-Star Game has become the most horrible All-Star Game ever. I would love to hear him just tear up LeBron, Steph, KD, or how they ruined one of the greatest pastimes in all of sports. A Duke versus North Carolina game. Got to put that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just because. And the last one, I would like him to hear him do the play-by-play for the Pole Passion stripper tournament in Toronto.
And he would
we all know Toronto got the best strip clubs, and they got the Pole Passion tournament up in Toronto. And I think Jeffrey has been to a few strip clubs where he could do a play-by-play for the Pole Passion finals at the strip club in Toronto.
So, okay, we all don't know that Toronto got the best strip club, but I'll let you with that. Okay, I don't know nothing about that.
Spoken like a married man.
Thank you very much. Jason, give me your top 5 games that you would like to see Michael Jordan do play-by-play for, if he's going to do play-by-play.
Yeah, this is in no particular order. I want to see him do the Charlotte Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
just so I can watch his ass live for 48 minutes about that bullshit team he put together. Right? I want to see him do a Chicago Bulls game. to hear the agony in his voice as he's trying to be positive about that bullshit they got on the court right now with his statue out front. Number 3 for me, I'm gonna go Lakers. I would love to see him have to talk about how well a 40-year-old LeBron James is doing, knowing in his heart he was trash at that age, knowing that the Jordanites are watching it too.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear what he says about that. And number 2, could be number 1, we're going number 2, the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a more knowledgeable fan base of their franchise history, and the posters would be incredible in the stands. Like, I know they bring his attention that he got swept out the playoffs in consecutive years by Bird. Everything that he never did against the Celtics, have T-shirts. It would be crazy for him, to be in that arena. It would be really uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But number one, Howie, the Pistons. Because I don't think he'd be able to hide his disdain in any way possible. It would just be hate against everything Pistons that whole game. I want to see Isaiah in the building.
Yeah. Isaiah be in the studio. Go back to the studio, Isaiah.
Yeah. Well, that was some bullshit, Mike.
All right, here's what I did. I did the top 5 games I'd like to see Michael Jordan do play-by-play for. Number 5 for me, and it's really no particular order either. It's just like like to see him do play-by-play with Milwaukee Bucks versus San Antonio Spurs. I'd like to see how he'd be talking about Giannis against Wemby and seeing how that would go. I'd love to see how he talk about that. I would love to see how he would talk about at number 4 the Portland Trailblazers versus the Golden State Warriors, about how he would be talking about how good he thought they were, and he'd have to compare Golden State Warriors 72 win team against the Chicago Bulls team. So I would love to see how he would talk about that. Number 3 for me, I would love to see how he would talk about the Celtics against the 76ers, because just like how you said, Jay, he would go back in time and talk about stuff that would happen between the Celtics and the Sixers. Then he would have to obviously say some stuff about the Bulls. He'd have to. Number 2 for me would have to be how I would love to see him talk about the Lakers against the Chicago Bulls. The Lakers because of LeBron James on the team right now with Luka, and the Chicago Bulls because of how bad the Chicago Bulls look right now. I would love to see how he would, if he even felt anything about the Bulls still, because he might not, because he had real issue with the management there and everything else. But the number one thing I would love to see him do play-by-play is the New York Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons. I would love to see, because he can't stand neither team. I would love to see him do play-by-play. Mike, you have to say something about what you feel about how one of these teams. You have to say, no, I ain't got nothing to say. Right? But Mike, you got to say something about the Knicks or I ain't got nothing to say. I can't. He'd have to say something. He'd be forced in the corner to say something. So I would love to do that. So now this brings me to how much time we got. We ain't got enough time. We ain't got enough time. All right, so tomorrow we're gonna have to do the next question. We got enough time. I would love to do that tomorrow. I'm not even gonna tell people what the question is, because I'm so interested in seeing what the fans are gonna look like and think about what that question is. How before we go, what Cleveland's facing tonight is that they gonna be in a serious hole. Actually, I think they can get eliminated tonight. What are they looking at? 3-1?
Yeah, they can get eliminated. It's 3-1
tonight, right. How are you looking at NBA playoffs, man? What you think? You think Cleveland stretches it out, or you think they get eliminated by Indiana tonight?
They can. They're playing in Cleveland. They can. I think they're good enough. I think they need to show some pride and try to. But the Pacers, man, woo! I mean, I just at some point, man, I was watching them shoot, and they could not miss from downtown, bro. It's a lot of teams like OKC is like that too. I was saying that the other day. OKC reminds me a lot of like the Pacers, where when they get on the road, man, offensively, they juggernauts. So I just don't know. Cleveland got a chance, maybe show some pride, but don't look good.
Okay, Mo, give me your thoughts, man. Tonight's game, we got obviously the Cleveland facing.
Cleveland is done. Cleveland's done. It's wrap. That's it. It's over. But listen, I just want to say one thing, because I missed the show the other day. I want to say to people who I think deserve a shoe deal. Howie Bell deserves a shoe deal. Sort of a cross between a Nike and a Murray Gator. JD deserves a shoe deal. Kind of like a Florida type slipper, sandal type shoe. Where you can just wear it at the beach or at the club. White Chocolate deserves a shoe deal. Something like a wrestling boot that all the wrestlers wear. And Frank, you don't deserve one, because Bernadette Holder buys your shoes. She deserves a shoe deal for stores that cater to women that buy the shoes for their husbands also while they're shopping for shoes for themselves. That's my shoe deal list.
Okay.
Did you just call his wife by her first and last name, bro?
Yeah, he did. He did.
The whole gun.
I always well, she's the first lady of Huberville. You gotta
And
she's the first.
that goes to show you he don't know my wife at all. Because one thing my wife does not do is buy me no shoes. She is the only she don't buy no shoes. She don't buy me no slippers. She don't even give me no flip flop. She don't do nothing.
I took a shot in the dark with that one. I just thought it'd be funny whether she do it or not.
Yeah, she don't do that. She not at all. Not at all. Howie, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Oh man, as always, Howie Bizzell, you know what I'm saying, right there, HOWIE BIZZELL, Howie Bell. Other than that, you got me.
We appreciate that. Maurice Smith, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Mo_comic on IG, Maurice Smith, and the Function Ref on IG. And you know what I'm saying? Go, New York, go.
I'm trying my best not to mute him. Jay, tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
At JD Hayes, fan base. I'll let you boy.
Thank you all for watching. The show is obviously running over time. This is the show called Box Seats. We're on Humor Mill channel. We thank you all for watching. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Share. Do all that. We'll see y'all tomorrow again at 5 o'clock, man. Thank y'all. Peace.